Hello and welcome to FusionQA, episode number 7 of using Selenium with Ruby. In today's episode, we will learn how to input text into a text field, which is a very common thing on the internet, on any web page. And as well, we're going to learn how to send some special keystrokes, such as if you want to delete all text from a text field, or you want to do backspace, deleting one character at a time, or you want to hit the return key. Just some examples, and then we'll also show you where you can find the rest of the available keystrokes in the documentation for using Selenium with Ruby. So let's go ahead and begin. So I have my IRB session already loaded, and I've required Selenium-Webdriver gem. So let's start the driver up here. So we're going to start a Chrome browser, and we're going to go to a demo site. So this is just a login page here. We have a login page with some text fields, a username and a password and a button and a footer there. So the first thing that we're gonna demo here is how to enter some text field into this username via the ID, right? So we're gonna do an inspect on this text field. And when we do an inspect here on this text field, we see here that the ID is equal to username, right? The ID is equal to username. So we want to put a username in here, enter some text. So what we'll do is something like this. All right, so what we did here was we said driver, and we did driver because driver is equal to the Selenium-Webdriver instance that we created for this Chrome browser. So we said driver dot find element, and we want to find the find this text field via the ID. Okay, and the ID was username, as we saw. And then we did dot send keys. We used this method dot send keys, and then we just did send keys, and in quotes I did Farooq Yousuf, which is my name, and that's what I did as username. I entered it right there, and as you see, it populated the my name in this username text field. Now you can also populate, text via other ways, such as if you do, on this password field, we can do it via the name equals password. So we can do name as well instead of ID, right? So we would do have here is the same thing as the last example, driver.find element. This time we use name instead of ID, and we use the password since that's what the name is for us, password. And we did .send keys password, and as you see here, we can't see it because it's a password. It's for security purposes. It's been blocked out blocked out, but it sent the password into that text field. Now Now, a few other things that we can do with text fields with Selenium-Webdriver is you can do a lot of different things. So the next example we'll show is to kind of delete one character at a time, or using the backspace key, right? So let's say we have the username Farooq Yousuf, and we want to delete one character at a time for some reason, right? We want to delete the F, the U, the S, right? So we would do something like this for that. Okay, so what we have here is, similar as before, driver.find element. We find it again by the ID username, and then we do the send keys. And now this is the send keys method, and then this is the new part here. We will just, within these brackets, we're going to say, colon, control, comma, and then in quotes, A, and then another comma, and then we want to specify whatever it is we want to do. So we want to do a backspace here. So if I hit enter, you'll notice here it's going to remove the F in Yousuf, right? You see that? It removed the F in Yousuf. And I do it again, it's going to remove the U in that next U. And if I keep on doing it, it'll just delete one character at a time. Okay? So the next example, what we'll do is, let's say we want to clear the entire text field. All text, we want to remove it, from that text field. And for this, it's going to be pretty simple. We're just going to do the same thing, driver.findElement, ID, username. And this time we're just going to do a .clear. This .clear method will just remove the entire text from this username. So we see Farooq there and for the username, and we're just going to delete that. So we're going to do a .clear method on there, and it removes the entire string or text from that text field. And another example we can kind of show here is so let's say we want to hit the return button on the key, or the return button on the keyboard. So for that, we would do something like this. All right, so again, it's the same driver.findElement. Again, we're using ID, username, using that send keys method. And then, we have the control and the A there. And then this time, instead of doing backspace, right, we're going to do enter. Instead of backspace, we're going to do enter. And this enter, when I hit it, notice the action that takes place in the browser, right? It'll just basically do the same action as if you were to hit the enter key on a keyboard. See, so it says here your username is invalid because we didn't have a proper username and password. So it gave us an error message, but you see how it worked the same as you would hit a enter key on a keyboard. Now, there's a lot of other different, different keystrokes that we can do. We showed, examples of backspace and clear and enter. But if you are to go to the documentation, the Ruby docs for Selenium-Webdriver, you see all these different keys that you have available to use. We did backspace, we did clear, we did return. You can do enter, return, either or. There's a lot of other things you can do, page up, page down, right? And so many other things here. And it's basically doing the same thing, as we did. You just do enter, or you do backspace, or you do shift. Whatever you want to do, you can do it there, from whatever's available to us on this list. So that wraps up this episode. I hope it was of benefit. If you have any suggestions or questions, please leave a comment below or email me at farooq@fusionqa.net. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Connect with us on social media. The show notes and other details are in the description. Thanks for watching.